Happy Friday, everyone, and good morning. It's been a hot week, and today is going to be no exception to that, although we are starting out relatively mild this morning. Starting out at 57 degrees this morning in the capital city and in Great Falls, starting out at 53 degrees. Yesterday was slightly cooler than the previous day. However, today is going to be another day of the 90s. So if you're a big fan of the hot weather like myself, it's great weather, but it has been hot for the last few days. It's kind of been hard to cool off, but fortunately we have been getting those cooler temperatures overnight and cooling off at least in the evening hours. Today, the highs are going to be up in the mid 90s, 93 for the capital city and for Great Falls, 95 up in Havre, 88 in Lewistown, slightly cooler there, but most folks are going to be up into the 90s for today. It's going to be a hot and dry day. You can see on the radar not a whole lot going on. There is a bit of moisture moving through eastern Montana, but that has kind of started to taper off this morning, and really things are going to stay generally quiet for most of today. The big concern, though, of course, with dry and quiet weather doesn't always mean quiet here, because the fire weather ramps up when the moisture goes down. So this fire weather warning for the northern Rocky Mountain front, that is in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. Yesterday, this was a fire weather watch in this area. That has been bumped up to a fire weather warning because the wind and temperatures are going to all factor into higher fire weather danger. You can see on the northern Rocky Mountain front there, pretty high winds sustained for a lot of today, and in eastern Montana as well, some high winds as well. There's actually a lake wind advisory on Fort Peck Lake in eastern Montana today. So overnight, those are going to calm down. Of course, things typically calm down overnight, but tomorrow morning you can see more winds on the Rocky Mountain front there, continuing for most of the day. Tomorrow is going to be a fairly breezy day for most of western Montana. And the fire weather danger for today, of course, there is the fire weather warning on the northern Rocky Mountain front, but later on today, the high winds, low humidity, and high winds and hot temperatures, rather, are all going to contribute to that fire weather danger for today. That will, of course, calm down overnight, but tomorrow could see some hot temperatures and high winds as well. Now, the weekend is going to be fairly nice and cool off slightly tomorrow. You can see this low up in Canada moving into our area, and that cold front is going to cool things off for us a bit tomorrow. We could see some scattered thunderstorms in southern Montana, eastern Montana, but most folks are going to stay relatively calm for today and in through the weekend. So high temperatures and fire weather are really going to be the story for most of today. The winds off the northern Rocky Mountain front, the highs up in the mid 90s in some areas, slightly cooler in Lewistown with the temperature at 88, but it is going to be a pretty hot day out there today. But today is going to be looking like the last day of the very, very hot temperatures. I know 88 is still pretty hot, but after tomorrow, things will start to taper off even more. Sunday will be cooler, Monday will be cooler still. So once we get through today, if you are sick of the hot weather or at least just looking for a break, things are going to slightly dial down after today, but still warm temperatures, and we're looking at some isolated thunderstorms by midweek next week. But yeah, it's going to cool off a little bit, so there's some good news there.
A little bit. We'll
right.
take what we can get. Katie, thanks.